Hello, welcome to Trisha's Cards and Crafts, and it's Stepped Up on Sunday, and I thought I would have a go at, I saw a similar sort of card as to this on Pinterest, and I thought I'd have a go to see if I could make one, and this is how it's turned out. I've stamped on the inside as well and on the envelope, on the front of the envelope, so I thought I'd show you how I made this. Now I have prepared some of this in advance because there's a lot of stamping and a lot of die cutting to do, because all of these are individually die cut. So I thought rather than waste the time doing all of that, I'll just show you how I put it all together. So let's just go ahead. Let me just put those out of the way. I've used the stamp set again from before, the textured floral, and I've used for this one was a Get Well card, so I've used the Just For You, and I've used the Just For You and the Hope You're Feeling Better Soon on the inside from the So Sincere set. Right, so I've got I think it's about a 6x6 card base. I'll just check. Oops, wrong roller. Here we go. Yeah, it's just under 6, but the envelopes will be 6x6. So that's the envelope that the card base that I'll be using, and I've used Old Olive and Berry Burst, and I've also used Bubble Bath ink to stamp the flowers and the foliage. I've also used some Old Olive card and some crumb cake card as well to cut those out of. I think those are like eucalyptus, but I didn't think the colour that I had, that would probably be Lost Lagoon, would go very well with the Old Olive, so I decided not to do that. I used crumb cake instead. I've also made a bow, and I did this already because I made two at the same time, but what I did, I used this ribbon, and it doesn't actually say what it is. I'll find out what the ribbon is called and I'll put it in the comments below. But what I did, I cut a length of it, tied it into a bow, and then I cut it off, and then I just kept pulling this out so it just frayed. So I had twice as many strands, thickness as this, and that's how I made the bow for this one and for the one that's on this card. So that's the bow. I've also got some Old Olive and some white card to do the sentiment for the front, because I thought it looked nice having the Old Olive and the white in the centre. The white just seemed to disappear if I just left it there. I could have just stamped it and onto the card base, but I just thought it would look nicer like this. And this time, and I was going to do it on another video, but I didn't get around to do it, I thought I might just do some use a blending brush with some Old Olive, and I'll do some blending it around just underneath where the wreath will go. I can get the words out. So I've got a blending brush, and before I use it, I'm going to stamp off, because I do not want this to be, and I'm just going to go around lightly. I'm not going to go too close to the centre. I just want to take some of the whiteness away. I'll do it again. that's all I'm going to do, I think. I don't want it to be too green. So there we go. So that's how all I'm going to do there. Now, when I've made up the other ones, I made up the flowers first. I sort of paired them up. So I have two, there's a pale one and a dark one of this sprig. And what you do is a two-step one. I've got it here, I can show you. So first of all, I stamped this image and then I stamped that over the top. So I put that one down first and then stamped the green one over the top. So you get those. And I did one in Bubble Bath and one in Moody Mauve. The rest of the flowers are all in Moody Mauve. I did start off using here we go. I started off stamping the Bubble Bath, but it didn't come out very well. So I thought, well, I'll just stick with the Moody Mauve and do it that way. So that's why I've not used more Bubble Bath. So all I did, I stamped the images. I stamped 3 of the images out and then I die cut them for each of these. So I used this one 3 times, this one 3 times, that 3 times, and that one twice. Just one in the dark colour and one in the light. And then with the dies, these are all the different dies. So you've got a die to match each of the flowers, and then you've got the leaf die, and you've also got that foliage and the sprig with the blossoms on as well. I also used these 2 dies, and this one I think that looks a bit like the eucalyptus. So I cut 3 of those out, and I also cut 3 of these out. They've disappeared. They've come. Oh no, they aren't. I should have 3 of these as well somewhere. They've disappeared, but I'll find them now. Anyway, so those are all the dies that I've used. That's weird. So what I did, I paired up these with these flowers, these blossoms, and then I had some left over, but I might use them and I might not. I did cut one of them up, and I used a bit more there. And because this when I stuck it down, it was a bit all behind the flower, I used an extra bit afterwards to put on the outside there. So I will be a bit more, I know what I'm doing a bit more now, perhaps. So hopefully I'll be able to do this a bit better. I don't know what I've done with all my green leaves. There's only one left. There should be 3. But what I didn't use all of the foliage for the small flowers because it was just too much. So what I could do is use the bits that I've cut off as well. So because I've got 3 pieces that I've cut off for these. I don't know where they've gone. That's very strange. Right, so this is what I did. So I've started, when I first did it, I stuck the glue dot onto the back of this, but then I realised I was going to stick it all over the place. So I put in a glue dot around about here where there's a lot of leaves. So they're only mini glue dots, but I didn't want them to be overlapping at the back because then they're sticky. So I've put the glue dot there. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm just going to sort out where I want my, like that. So then I can just stick them together so they'll stay in place. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Put the glue dot onto the thicker part of the foliage. Try not to make sure I put any glue dots anywhere else. So I've got the glue dot there. I'm going to position this where I want it and stick it down. and that one will be facing that way. So there's those two. And then I used the leaves these leaves with the larger flowers, and again I used a glue dot on the leaves and then stuck the flower to them. So I've got, I don't think it matters which way up you put them, it's up to you. You just put them in the position that you like them. And that one, that. Ah, it stuck to me. Where did it gone then? So there we go. So that's the third one. So I had those so that they sort of facing each other, and then this one is at the bottom, because then I've used these smaller ones, smaller flowers with these green leaves. I might just try, I'll use this one for the bottom one. I'm snipping some of this away because I don't need it all. I'm snipping this bit, and then I'm going to snip these leaves off there. So those are the bits that I cut away, and then I'm going to stick a glue dot on here somewhere where there's a bit more foliage. So I've got my glue dot on the back there, and then whoops, stuck to my nail, whoops, and then I'm going to stick the flower on top. Now, don't know what happened there, just fold it over. Now there's a little bit left over here, and I'm just going to snip this off because I don't want this on either. So that one could go at the top here. I'm going to bring them all down a little bit anyway, because when I stick them down, because the bow's got to go at the top. So I'm going to, all the card will be down a little bit lower than this. So then for the next one, and another glue dot. Oh, I put it on the wrong side. Oh. Here we go. Right. So get this one off. And this will go onto the back of this one. And again, I've got a little bit sticking out, so I'm just going to snip that off. And that can go there. I will sort this out in a moment. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. Although I think, to be honest, these are so, there's not much in the way of foliage for these, so it's better to actually stick the glue dot onto the back of the flower. Now I've also got another bit sticking out down here, but I'm only going to cut that little bit off and leave the other leaves on, and that one will go there somewhere like that. So I haven't stuck anything down yet, but that's the idea. And then the ribbon or the string will go over the top at the top. So that's all of that sorted. I think I've got enough of the crumb cake, so I don't think I'll bother using the crumb cake for this one. They all look okay for now. So now I'm going to cut out. I've got a 3/4 of an inch. Oops, not that one. 3/4 of an inch circle punch. Oh, 1 3/4, sorry. And I'm going to use that for the green. So I'm just going to pop a green circle out. And then I'm going to have a white circle, which is 1 3/8, but I'm not sure that this one is still available. So if you've got another circle punch, you could use that. If not, if you want to, you could make a bigger circle to go inside. You could have the 1 3/4 and a 2-inch maybe. It's completely up to you. These are the ones that I've got, and that's what I used before. So I'll just carry on using this one for now. And I'm going to stamp the Just For You in the old olive. Again, if you wanted to, you can make this easily into a birthday card rather than a get well card. You can find a nice sentiment. You could make it for any occasion, really. So I'm just going to put the Just For You in the middle. There we go. So that's done. And then I'm going to stick this. Now, my punch isn't great either. So I'll just trim the edge of this off. It just catches in one place, and it's always been the same ever since I first had it. So now I'm going to stick this, and I'm going to use this glue, which is not Stampin' Up, but I'll show you why in a moment. I have used this one before because it's little dots. Oh, I've done it again. How do I manage to? Oh, I'll just have to leave it. I've managed to put the circle a bit further over that side than the other side, but it doesn't matter. This glue has got lots of small dots, so I'll be using that to stick the foliage and the flowers down, so it only sticks to the pieces of card that it touches, so you don't have lots of bits left over. So that's why, and it doesn't show through either when you stick things down. Right, so I'm going to move everything out of the way. I'm going to stick this down with dimensionals. If I can find out what I did with my dimensionals. There they are. Right, and I'm running low, so I've got some that I've snipped the edges around, so I'm just using the bits from around the edges so you don't waste any at all. So I'm just going to use those edge pieces, and I snipped them earlier on. So this is going to go in the middle there, and then I'm going to use my silicone mat, and I'm going to stick these down. Now, starting off with the bigger pieces, so I turn them over, and I just, if you go in the direction that the leaves are, otherwise if you go that way, then you'll pick up the leaves and they'll just go, and they won't work properly, they won't stick down properly, and they'll break. So that's the first one. I'm going to do this one as well. So again, I'm doing it in the direction of the stems because it won't rip them then. If I tried doing it the other way around, it would have ripped the card. There we go. So that one's there. Now I'm going to stick these down next, the bigger ones. And that one's going to go like that, and this one is going to go there like that, and this one's going to go in the middle. So again, I'm going to be careful, like that happens. This bit comes off. I will sort that out in a moment. I can put that back on separately. There we go. So I've got some glue, so that can go there, and I can put this little bit just here and nobody will notice. I'll put it underneath the flower. There we go. So you won't notice that it wasn't supposed to be there. Okay, so that's that one. Now for the bottom. Again, I'm going to put this one in the middle. And I'm going to put the leaves so they go this way round, and then very carefully, because I don't want that happening again, I'm going to put adhesive on the backs of these leaves. I don't know whether you can just see that they're just little dots. Okay, and then that one will go like this, and this one will go on the other side. So it's quite easy to put together once you've done all the laborious work of cutting everything out. Oops, there we go. So that's now got the adhesive on the back of that, and I'm going to just slip that under there. Whoops, a little bit under there. There we go, that'll do. So that's not quite circular, but it's not too bad. I could put a little bit more of that behind there. So if I just snip, there we are, a little bit of this off, and I'll put some of these dots on the back of that, and I'll just slip that, whoops, there we go, under there. Could put another little bit up here, snip a little bit more off. And put this piece just under there. There we go. I've just got a little bit of foliage there. It's easier once you've got things down where they're going to be, and then you can see if you need anything extra. So if you've got extra cut out, you can use those when you're ready for them. So there we go, that's how you make your wreath. I like to put mine down first and then stick them down afterwards, just to make sure that I've got things in the right place. So I think that works nicely. I'm not sure which you prefer, whether you have the green behind it or not. Just leave it white, but I quite like it with the green. Now for the bow, and I'm going to stick that down with some glue dots. This bow worked out better than the other bow, but whoops, I'll show you now. I'm going to use some glue dots on here, and I'm going to use more than one because sometimes the glue dots like to come off, or they're not as sticky as they could be. Mind you, this one is very sticky. Right, let's just make sure I've got my bow. One more, just to be on the safe side. Don't want it coming off. So I've got my bow, got the pieces where I want them to be, and I'm just going to place that now on there like that, and that should stick nicely. So that's the front of my card. Now for the inside, I can get rid of that and move that out of the way. So now I want to put my sentiment on the inside. So I'm going to use the same sentiment as last time. So it's hope you're feeling better soon. Here we go. Hopefully this will be okay. There we go, that's nice. And then what I did on the inside of the other card is I stamped the leaf again. There we go, so that's going to go there. And then I stamped, I do the envelope as well. Here's the envelope. So I'll put the leaf on the envelope while I've got the green out, before I get my Moody Mauve back out. and this corner is going to go in, and I don't need it all, just going to put that part down. So there's my leaf, and then I used the larger of the two flowers and the Moody Mauve. Just put the green away, and here it goes. And this flower, one on here, I think I'll just put it there like that. It will dry a little bit paler than that. And one for the inside of the card, just here. There we go. And that's my card and envelope done. So it does take a little bit more time because of all the die cutting you need to do. But other than that, oh, I haven't put any, decoration on it, embellishments. There we go, I'll get it right one day. Now what I did with the other card, I used some of the green, these are the adhesive back speckled dots, and they've got sort of speckles of glitter in them. Don't know whether you can see that very well. I've used the Moody Mauve and the green, I think it's Old Olive. Doesn't say on this one, but I'll check that out. It's definitely Moody Mauve anyway for the small ones. I'm going to put some of the smaller ones in the centres of the larger flowers. Not that you can see that one, because it's got that in the way. And then there we go. There we are. And then I use some of the green small ones. One to go there, one to go just there, and then I used another one. So I think I'll put one up here. So I did it again. It's sort of anyway. There's three of them, so not quite this very strange looking triangle, but it's still supposed to be sort of triangular. Not quite sure how that is, but there we go. I could take that one and put it somewhere else, but I think I might as well leave it where it is now. Just see. If it's not stuck down too much, I might just be able to lift this one off. There we go. And I'm going to put that one over here. There we go. That's better, I think. Anyway, it'll do. So that's the embellishments done as well. So here's the two cards. So you've got this one and this one. I'm not quite sure. I think you can't see a lot of the green because it's underneath, but I think it just takes away from all the white, and I quite like it. Just let me know what you think. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's not too long this time. The last one I did, I'm sorry, on Wednesday was quite a long one, but it was because we made 3 cards instead of just one. If you want any of the products that I've been using this week, you can find them in my online shop. Most of the things that I've used today, except for the smaller punch, but if you've got dies, you could use dies to cut that out. You could use the deckled circle dies, and they would have cut those out nicely as well. If you need anything, you can find them in my online shop, and the link to that will be in the comments below. And if you like the videos and you want to see more of them, you can click on the subscribe button, and if you click on the little bell icon, you'll be notified when I post another video. And anything else, if you like the video, please can you give it a thumbs up, because it just lets me know that there's somebody out there that likes things that I'm doing. And if you've got any comments to make, please leave them below. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.